The very basics of what I do, guys, for beginners that are kind of wondering how I scalp, is I look for a fair value gap. What a fair value gap is a 3 candlestick pattern. So take these 3 candlesticks. It's from the top of the first candle to the bottom of the third. That space between those candles is a fair value gap. So you can see how between these 3 candles, there is no fair value gap because the wicks price overlapped. Does that make sense? Type of what I just said makes sense. Okay, Maddie. Right. I know you know what a fair value gap is. Someone! Say something! Okay, cool. So usually what I'll do is if I'm on 5-minute, this is a little bit of a bad example. Let's go right here. I see a fair value gap right here, right? It's small, but it's there, okay? I wait for price to come and retest that fair value gap, at least in the general vicinity of it. Sometimes it won't touch the top, it'll come up here. Sometimes it reaches down at the bottom to grab liquidity. But what I do is I wait for, I maybe set a limit buy right here at the top, and then I'll set another one down here to see if they try to stop hunt. Okay, and then I'll wait for that initial reaction, which would be right here during this candle. I'm entering on this candle because the fair value gap's already been formed right here, right? So I'm entering when price is down here, and I'm waiting for that reaction, that draw off liquidity, and that's when I'm taking my scalp. And that's a 10-point draw right there, at least. Okay? So another example would be this one right here. As you can see, they came down a little bit, but they never really closed strongly below this fair value gap to stop me out. I like to wait for stops below fair value gaps, like a strong close. If the candle would have closed down here, I probably would have gotten out and been like, okay. But they didn't close it. They were just stop hunting right here, and then boom, a big reaction up, right? Okay, so that's how I would be doing it. I probably would have gotten in right here on this one, and then I probably would have averaged down at the bottom. So it would bring my average to maybe somewhere over here, and then I would have waited for a reaction out, one way or the other. Does this make sense? Let a bitch know. Okay, that's the super piss easy, simple way I made that $12,000 payout on Top Step. That is all I fucking did. Literally, I did not do anything else than that. Is on 5-minute time frame, scalping off of those initial draws on liquidity. That's literally it. Let me see if I can find another example. Look at this! This is perfect! Look at this shit! Boom! Fair value gap, right? Look at that. If you would have gotten in right here at the top, which is fine, you would have had to endure a pretty large, actually, drawdown. This is because price was fucking being crazy. But if you put in buys, limit buys, throughout this whole entire thing, maybe like 2 or 3 extra ones, because this is just a monster this is a very big fair value gap. The bigger the fair value gap, the more buys I'm going to have. I always put one at the top, because sometimes price doesn't come right back into it. Sometimes it'll sit up here, like ignore these 2 candles. Sometimes it'll sit up here, so sometimes I have my limit buy right here, right? So this is the fair value gap from the top of the first candle to the bottom of the third, right? And then boom, price literally comes all the way down to the very bottom of that and then skyrockets up. So if you set your buy, maybe like right here, and then you set another one here, and you set another one there, maybe your average would somehow be like right here, so that's 876, so that's 76, and then maybe you get out right here to 934. That's how this is all I was doing when I made that $9.3 thousand trade today to pass my 150k eval in one trade. That is literally what I did. Is I entered at the bottom of a fair value gap, 13 fucking NQ cons because I was just fucking around, and then fucking price shot up immediately, and it was a $9,000 trade, over $9,000. That is literally all I'm doing. I don't alert these plays because they're so fucking fast, and I don't have set take profits. I just take it when I see it, that initial gap, when it goes up. But that's all I'm doing. Let's see. Trying to find another. Okay, so here's one. Here's a fair value gap right here. Okay. And then we have another one down here. Sometimes these fair value gaps do not get retested. Like if we're in a very, very strong uptrend, if you were waiting after this candle for a retest of this fair value gap, you would have never gotten an entry. Okay? So it'd be smart to just be patient. There's no point to just chase that. Okay? And then another fair value gap formed. And you're like, okay, how long can we go? That's why sometimes I'll set my buys maybe like 5 points above a fair value gap if we're in a very strong uptrend. Because even right here, that's 5 points away, price came and retested. We didn't draw into that liquidity, but it came pretty close. So that's why I'll set, if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend, I will set my buys, my limits, for 5 points above or below the fair value gap to ensure that I don't miss the move. And if I miss the move, I miss the move, but whatever. Because right here, fair value gap, right? Okay. You think price is going to come retest it and then keep moving down, so you're looking for an entry, because that's a pretty big fucking fair value gap. Price never really even came close to retesting it immediately. You know, that's 11 points that the very next candle, you know, is away. So I probably wouldn't have got an entry there. And then we chopped and kept rejecting similarly off of that fair value gap, right? And then price never really could flip it. So these stay in play until they're invalidated. A fair value gap, to me, that I use them until they're invalidated. That's basically how I do it. Any questions? Yeah, so Maddie, price is, it could hopefully be drawing on liquidity if you wanted to scalp that, and you missed this, and you're like, okay, when's price gonna come back? You could have gotten in right here, average down, maybe down here, and then boom, that's 6 points. And no matter how small it is, it's still valid. This right here is still a fair value gap. So for a fair value gap to be invalidated, price would have to break below. It's gonna be easiest for me to... Where the fuck? Okay. Turn this off. So from my understanding, the way I do it is price needs to break below. Oh my god! That was fucking horrible. Oh, path. Okay. Price would need to come down. Okay. Break out of the fair value gap. And retest that fair value gap and keep going lower. If that does that make sense? That would invalidate a fair value gap. It needs to flip and basically turn this from support into resistance, basically. So a fair value gap can be filled. Look, it was filled right here. Completely filled and even came down. But it was not invalidated because price could not close and flip it. If price comes down, closes, and then is unable to come back outside of it, then that is inverted, not invalidated, inverted fair value gap. But never invalidated, just inverted. Yeah. Because this is all still valid. look at my gold. Hey, y'all. Look at that. Let me take that, bitch. Ew. That's all funded too, bitches. I was just kind of fucking around with that, though. Okay. Let's take some plays on, what do we want to trade?
And Q's in the middle of a rising wedge jump. I don't know if you want to check that out. I'm on the 2 minute.
Ozzy, do you want to share your screen?
No.
Natural gas? The fuck? We can trade natural gas futures, bitch? GC don't pussyfoot. Hey, Judah, you saw, girl. I just made my 330. Okay, you guys want to trade gold? Is that what everybody wants to trade? Y'all can put your fucking mics on, too. This doesn't have to be, like...
I think they're
we can trade chocolate. Cacao.
You guys just fucking put your mics on. Come on, talk to me. I don't want to have to keep... I'm on my MacBook. I don't want to keep switching from Discord to TradingView. Okay, NQ has a 5-minute bear flag. Let's see. Yes, I also think it could potentially be forming a Head and Shoulders. Potentially. Let's check the longer time frames. Oh, bitches. Okay, so now that you guys know what a fair value gap is, right? You don't need to mark out every single one because our glorious king and father, my husband of the Discord, made a fucking indicator that does this shit for us. So you don't have to mark every single one out every single time. Okay? Like I used to do that. This shit is so fucking helpful. Green is bullish, red is bearish. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Okay, look. Even on longer fucking time frames, okay? Look at this shit! This shit's sick. Boom. 4-hour fair value gap formed right here, right? 4, 8. 8 full hours. You could have been scalping shorts off that motherfucker. Or not even scalping because this is 4 hours, but you could have made a bet or whatever. Taken a put right here, and then I probably would have put another put up here because that's a pretty big gap. Okay? And then just seeing if that fair value gap was respected or not. And look, it was. It even went all the way out. Boom, drew on liquidity and came all the way fucking down. And it's still being respected 2 days later. That shit's crazy as fuck to me. This is basically all I'm doing. And then see this big ass fucking 4-hour fair value gap still being respected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. Okay? When you get in a big fair value gap like this, it's best to come down on the smaller time frames to find your entries and kind of see what's going on, because that's just a lot. If you put in a buy right here at 19,803, you would have liquidated your account holding down to 680 waiting for a rip up, you know, or whatever. So I wouldn't play this. If I was swing trading like options, I would play it, but not on futures, because you can't hold overnight, or you can't hold. You have to close your position a certain day. Whatever. Okay.
Natural gas just had a big old candle.
Are you on natural gas?
Yeah. We used to trade chocolate.
I did not know we could trade that.
You can trade orange juice if you want.
That's so fucking fun. That's so sick. Hey, look at that. Take profits indicator called that shit at 3.592. Okay, let me look at GC. Okay. We're in a big ol' 5-minute bearish fair value gap. Okay. This is where I originally wanted to take profits. I took this long because one of my friends took it, and so I was doing it with him. That's why I didn't alert it. There was no due diligence on my end. That was literally it. Okay? So let's start out here and see what we're working with. And then I'm going to let you guys determine what we do. Okay? Do you guys have mics? Holy shit.
I hear you.
I know you do. These other motherfuckers.
Asking you any questions?
Yes.
Stuffing their faces.
Here we go. I want us all to be taking these. I want us all to take this together, but it's kind of hard.
At the end.
I see a small 15-minute fair value gap on gold.
Okay, let's see. Yes. Yes. So,
Tiny.
what would be good? That's like a perfect V. So for us to be completely bullish in this, we'd want to see price come up, close over, and then use this as support, just like that. As you can see, it literally just got wicked down right underneath of it. Personally, I don't even know what I would do in this. I'm not even gonna say what I would do in this situation. But we can see we're going in here, and we're still inside that big. But you guys can see how checking for value gaps on different time frames could give you better entries. So for this 5-minute one, maybe you wouldn't get in till 33.85, right, or 33.86. So 3 points, right? But on the 15-minute, maybe you could get in at 33.83, which isn't like a huge fucking big deal, but it can be. Oh, and another thing is higher time frame fair value gaps, in my opinion, hold more strength over lower time frame fair value gaps. And what I mean is I would probably take an entry on this 15-minute fair value gap rather than waiting for the 5-minute fair value gap. I just think that longer time frame ones are typically a little bit more reliable. That's why I don't trade anything lower than 5 minutes. I don't trade 2-minute and I don't trade 1 minute. I'm just not built like that. So what are we thinking? Let me know.
Gold? Gold,
Yes.
gold,
Could have
gold.
shorted gold.
Yeah, we could have because it was off this fair value gap. We could either take shorts and maybe short it down here, or we could wait for a close and take longs, or we could go to another ticker or whatever you guys want to do.
I think you do you, and then so people can see at least your thought process like organically, and then if they have questions, they can just go ahead and butt in or whatever.
Okay, bet. Personally,
the-
for this, sorry, Shoes, what were you saying?
On the daily chart, gold looks short. So if I wanted to long something, it would be a small scalp. I wouldn't long it.
What makes you think this is bearish? I'm not asking because I think it's bullish. I'm just asking you because I want to know what you think.
Well, most candles open and close the other way. So if it's going down, it's going to open up and then close down. They usually revert halfway through.
Oh.
Daily candle. Right now, we're closer to yesterday's lows than we are at highs. So we're more likely to sweep liquidity at yesterday's lows and then keep going down.
I like
rather
that.
than cover entire yesterday's candle.
I like that. Okay, bet. And look, guys, see how these fucking fair value gaps work? A week, 2 weeks later, this fair value gap was formed on April 14th. Right? That is so fucking far ago. Okay? On May 1st, it came down literally to the fucking dollar and then ripped up. That's just like fair value gaps are so, they seem so easy to play, and they can be. If you have good risk management, don't fucking take every single fair value gap you see. Look at the larger picture. Form a bias. Like I like what Shoes is doing. We're looking from the top down. We're gonna go from the day, and we're saying, okay, probably gonna come down here and sweep this, or maybe even flip this fair value gap, and then we're gonna go into the 4-hour, and we're gonna see, oh, what do we have? We have a big 4-hour bearish 4-hour fair value gap that we could have been taking puts off yesterday and today. Okay, and targeting probably the top of this, or I always like to say 5 points above. Just because even like right here, basically about 7 points above that fair value gap. Okay, and then I'll go down to the hour and say, what am I doing? Okay, we have a tiny little fair value gap on the hourly. I see one right here that the indicator missed, potentially, just a little one that we're in. Okay, wait. I'm not tripping, right? Is that a fair value? Yeah, it is. A little tiny one, okay? And look exactly what we're in and what we're bouncing off of right now on the hourly. So yeah, I agree with Shoes, and I think that this would be bearish, personally. So I'm going to take a sell right here, just to get in, okay? I'm going to set one right here, and I'm being super fucking aggressive because this is just an eval. I should have done a practice on eval on something that has a little bit more drawdown. But if I blow it, and that's fine. This is exactly what I would take. I would take this. And then my stop would probably be right here, a little bit above this. If we make a new high, I'd probably be out. Okay? So this would be my stop right here. Would be right here. Okay? That's my stop. Look at that. Look at that, guys. See, you can just play those little scalps. We can let this run for a little bit, though. And I'll set an alert here in case we... Okay, should we look at NQ or another ticker? What do you guys want to look at? Tell Daddy. Tell Daddy.
I would say NQ just because EF doesn't move at this time of day.
No, I'm literally watching the Celtics.
Okay, let's start from the top down. Okay.
Insurance policy.
So, Shoes, what do you think about this one? Shoes!
Wait, I'm in drawdown.
You're in a drawdown? On what?
On gold.
Oh, shit. Did you not get our entry?
No,
Oh. It's moving slow. It's moving slow.
it'll get there. What are we in, NQ?
Yeah. What are you thinking for this one?
I feel like it's in the middle of two fair value gaps. I needed to go one or the other.
Yeah. So we could potentially, to me, sort of be inverted head and shoulders, maybe. That's just me really reaching for the stars, but we did make a lower high here from this bearish fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I agree with you. I think we're like right in the middle of two fair value gaps. So let's break it down and go further into... And guys, there's so much more shit to learn about ICT. This is just one of the many things. Fair value gaps is just one of the many like strategies that you can use. Okay, 4 hour, let's see. Again, right in the middle. That's fucking so helpful. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, here we go. We got a lot to work through here, but we shall see. We're kind of pumping right now. Okay, where was that? Okay. So it'll disappear on take profits fucking indicator when price closes up or when price moves above it. So if we're really close like this, I'll probably just mark it out myself because I want to see us invert this. And then you can also look at it. You can keep that on other time frames. Now we can see the big hourly fair value gap that we're in. But
Yeah, I'm working
we
on
came
doing
down
the
here.
inverse ones, but that will come in a future update.
Ooh, I fuck
Inverse
with that.
Yeah, because they do disappear right now just to give mitigation. Because I know some people will look at them and be like, "Oh, it's still there. It still counts," and then you just get swept or like wiped out.
Yeah.
I want to add inverse ones because those are super helpful. Like you were saying, like once they go above, then you can use that same level as opposite, which like support.
Exactly. So look, earlier right here when we were first talking about inverse fair value gaps, we were talking about how we'd want it to come down here, bounce off, and go down. It never did that. It stayed perfectly up, so you could have kept your whole position and just ridden this all the way up. Same fucking thing. Okay, y'all. And look, we're coming out of this hourly fair value gap. Personally, I would not take a position right here because you can see that we've resisted this a few times already. So I would just wait. I would wait for this next 5-minute close before I took a position. If I wanted to, if I was feeling like ballsy, maybe I would short it. But we're in a short position on gold, and they're not directly inverse, but it wouldn't really do much for us to short both of them. So we'll see. Maybe this holds. If this holds, then that's pretty bullish. But typically candles retrace as much as they can. So we'll see what happens. So I think our limit, yep, one of our limits just got filled. Gold is just fucking pumping, bro. Now that I'm looking at this, I might adjust our stop slightly, but nah. I don't think so. I don't think so. So we really need NQ to break out here for gold to come down a little bit more. Let's see. Let's see.
Look at copper.
What is the thing for that?
Um,
What is,
HG1.
what the fuck? I literally would have never gotten that. Ooh, okay. You can trade fucking everything on this. God damn. Oh shit. So copper's forming. In the middle of forming. This is not set in stone yet. This, we're still moving. So I would just ignore this because we still have the opportunity to retrace. So let's jump down here. Okay. Wow. Huge bearish 4-hour fair value gap on all time frames. So let's jump down here. Okay. Copper might be like a short long, like a scalp, maybe if we can flip this one. We printed a bullish one here. So let's see. What do you guys think? Type in the chat.
I can't think.
Have to think. These other bitches should think. Maddie and Shoes, A+ students. The rest of you bitches, oh, and Aussie. The rest of you bitches, Fs. Going long? Are we going short? What are we doing, y'all? On board. Long? Alright, fuck it, let's go long, because I'm bored as fuck. Damn, the spread was horrible on that shit. Okay. I'm gonna buy another one down here just to try to average down. Slightly. What is GC doing? Is it pumping? Oh god.
I need it to go down.
I know, girl, same. Is NQ like falling off a cliff or something? No. Oh, well. Rejecting that. And our other our other gold just got filled. I think we'll be fine, hopefully. Watch us liquidate this account. Oh my god, y'all! Dang! We're not doing so hot. Okay, so copper moves crazy. Holy shit. 2 cents. And we're down $212. My god. This could be another example as to why, you don't really want to go long in a big bearish fair value gap. That shit happens. Gold's just fucking ripping, isn't it? My god. Oh, there we go. There we go, y'all. Come on. Drop it low. Drop it low. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I like how NQ is kind of looking so far. Even though Profit's indicator kind of wants us to short. We'll see.
Do you wait till the candle closes to then see what the indicator says?
Yes.
Yes, you should always wait for the candle to close. Not just in like this, but in general. Like if you don't wait until the candle closes, you could easily get like wicked out. And when you're back testing, yeah, it may seem like, oh, like everything makes sense. But like when you're in the actual market looking at stuff, like those wicks, like they affect your psychology. You could be like, oh, I gotta get in, I gotta get in. And then it could just shoot back up and you'd be like, oh, thank God I didn't get in, or oh shit, I got in, and I was the liquidity. Like me buying into that, bang, I just provided them all the short liquidity. So always important to wait for the end of the candle close before you take a trade.
So then, do you move down to a smaller time frame to see if the indicator comes up there?
Most of the time, I kind of look at like the 5 to 15 to again get like a general. I always look at the 4 hour beginning of the day, like mark out my levels, do all that stuff. But yeah, mostly with the indicator, it's like a 5 to 15 to see what direction we're heading, and then yeah, I'll look at the one. But like right now, like something I'm trying to fix on the indicator now, it's like printing a bunch of buy and sell signals back and forth because it doesn't know where it wants to go yet. Kind of in the middle of two fair value gaps. So
Y'all, we are down hella.
yeah. How much are you down? I'm not watching your stream.
$745.
Oh, Jesus. Damn, you took 3? Oh, yeah, shit.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and stop out of gold so we don't blow this eval in 1 second. Okay, y'all? And this is why you don't go long in a bearish fair value gap. Okay? Wait for it to invert. Okay? Okay, we learned our lesson. We'll close that. NQ's having some major resistance right here. Oh, my fucking tooth hurts! And we're still inside this bearish. I think it's bearish, right? 1 hour fair value gap. Yeah. And look at all these wicks, like just sweeping liquidity over and over and over again. Look at that, that's just falling, and gold is fucking going crazy. Gold is going insane. Let's just see what happens, chat. Let's see what happens. Let's top blast gold. $90, honestly. I think we do. That's why I was long in it on my funded. I think we're gonna make it up here. I might hold these on here till then, but we'll see.
How do you know which is the top one for the liquidity? So if you're looking at gold,
Mm-hmm.
which of the previous wicks would it be the limit to sell?
Usually do a swing high or a swing low. Look at that. On gold, we're already up 110 bucks. Come on, y'all. Fuck with me! So maybe personally right now I'm aiming for 90 because that's just a psych level. But if I wanted to hold, look at that, y'all, 250, I'm closing that. Done. I would aim for a little bit, maybe like 400. Just because this is liquidity right here, but sometimes they don't tap into it exactly. But if I was on a 5 minute, let's say I'm on a 5 minute. Okay, and I wanted to come and I wanted to short this. We're back here and I'm shorting this. I would aim for a swing low, which would probably be right here. If it's these two candles right here, I would aim for down here. And we would have gotten filled right here. Just a swing low. So this is a swing low right here. Low, lower high, lower high. No, higher low, lower low. Yeah. Damn, you always snipe that gold, huh? That was crazy. Oh. And look at this, y'all. And look at this, y'all. Another thing for ICT. Easily could have seen this coming is right here. Equal lows, swept. Boom. Equal lows, swept. Boom. Right there. Swept. Swept. They're not exact because nothing's exact and the algo fucks with you and blah blah blah. But equal lows were swept. And then boom. After that happened both times, what did we have? A ripper. Equal highs swept. What did we have? A reverse ripper. Damn, y'all. 90 hit. Boom. They might run it all the way up to 4. Damn, y'all. What happened? They inversed that fair value gap. And then boom, y'all. Boom. That's a strong close off that fair value gap. That's very strong. Boom. Questions? Ask now or forever hold your peace.
No.
Well, you can ask me whenever you want.